deepest healing in the world is if a doctor not only can cure the person, also give them that holiness why they had to be sick. Because in the deepest depths, it's not enough just I get well. I'd love to know why I had to go through all this. Why did I need it for? So the Talmud says, V'rapa yirapeh, I cure you from now on, but I also have to cure and heal the past. I have to heal you from now on to be complete, and I also have to heal your brokenness to let you know what you need it for. You have to take with you everything. I want you to know something very deep. Pharaoh says to Moshe, leave something behind you. Pharaoh says to Moshe, listen, when you leave Egypt, leave something behind you. Even just one sheep or one ox, who cares? Leave something behind you. Moshe Rabbeinu says, we won't leave anything behind us. You know what that means? When you walk out of Egypt, don't say, I forget this, I forget this, I forget I was a slave, I forget I had trouble. From now on I'm a new person. That doesn't mean you're cured. It means you're crazy. Crazy people forget what they did yesterday. Senile people forget what they did a minute ago. I don't want to walk out of Egypt being senile. I want to take everything with me. Because whatever God does to me, obviously I need it, right? You see again, if you mamish, absolutely the deepest way believe in God, you know how deep life is, then you know that everything is divine, mamash, right? Everything is godly. Someone came to the Holy Baal Shem. He said, Rabbi, I have so much trouble. I don't know what to do. He says, okay, I tell you. There is one person in the world who can cure you. You have to go to, let's say, to Lemberg and look for Chai Moshe Cohen, let's say. Okay, he goes to Lemberg, and in those days where you get information in the synagogue of the Medrash, he says, is there anybody by the name Chai Moshe Cohen? And there are even who know every Jew in Lemberg. He said, there's a lot of Cohen, nobody was named Chai Moshe. He says, but Shem to send me, there got to be somebody here, asking more and more and more. Finally he comes to a little synagogue, and he asks them, is anybody by his name Chai Moshe Cohen? Someone says, not now. He says, when I was a little boy, I remember there was someone named Chai Moshe Cohen. He was the most disgusting person in the world. He was an informer for the Russian police, gave over people and killed people, destroyed people's lives. But he's not alive anymore. Comes back to the Baal Shem, he says, you know, I went there, and the only Chai Moshe that said is someone who lived 100 years ago and did so much wrong. He says, that's what it is. You are that Chai Moshe. You only came back, you know, to fix what you did wrong last time. sure you're really angry at me here. I'm telling you so many Torahs, and the most important thing we didn't learn yet. Okay. Okay, now really open your hearts, friends, and just for a few minutes, let's get into it in the deepest, deepest, deepest way. We have 15 minutes. Quarter to 1. Yeah, so give me 10 minutes. That.
Because I really have something.
Yeah, okay. But now the question is, Spuri, I don't know if I have the same thing as you. I don't think you have the same. Where's this little book?
Maybe we can do this after, because we have to keep on a schedule, or people aren't going to have.
So let me give them 5 minutes just joy, you know?
That's it.
Because we talk about everything. Give me the little green book. Okay, good. Can't find it in this big book. I just translate, okay? Joy means redemption. To redeem your soul and your heart and your life from all the exiles you're going through physically and spiritually. When the Messiah is coming, suddenly the world will be filled with joy. Because only with joy can you go out of exile. And only with joy do you have the strength to hold out everything which happens to you. Okay, there's such a thing as toike for simcha, you know, not only joy, the strength of joy. You know how much strength joy has? You know? A lot of people swallow joy like a little pill, but obviously they have to chew it, you know, to get all the energy out of it. Because joy has so much energy, it's like an atomic explosion. He says, because the joy has to be so awesome that you just cannot stop dancing. And you know what it is? This is the deepest depths. Most of us are ashamed to be really filled with joy. Because we are living in a sad society, we're living in hell, right? And it makes a good impression to be like a little bit sad, you know. Because if you're overly happy, they really think you're crazy, right? So you need a lot of strength. Okay, you think I'm crazy, mazel tov. Who cares, right? Listen, if I'll be sick, you won't care either. So what do you care if I'm healthy, right? I'm not ashamed to be sick. Why should I be ashamed to be healthy? And maybe eventually you learn from me how to be healthy. Okay, what is the healthiest, most real feeling of the world? If it's mamish so clear to me there really is one God. You know, friends, he said, Reb Nachman said, there is no greater joy as to be completely aware of the deepest depths of your being, that there really is one God. And God is always there. Because the moment you have this absolute highest, deepest, most glorious God awareness, you're just so happy. Joy is the greatest light in the world. Joy is the greatest anti-darkness in the world. Joy burns out all the darkness. Joy burns out all the fears in the world. And joy burns out all the stupid thoughts which can make you crazy, and me crazy, all of us crazy. Joy burns away all the worries. And even holy worries. Walk around and worry, oh, I'm not so good, right? I'm not this. It's a holy worry. It's cute and sweet, but you're not filled with joy, because if you would mamish be filled with simcha, who has time for worries, right? Imagine I'm going to my daughter's wedding. I'm just 5 minutes before the chuppah, it's the greatest joy in the world. Will I think that I owe Moshe $100? Who cares, right? Who cares? Okay, he says, Brother Devil, he knows he has to talk a little bit about God to you also, otherwise you won't listen to him. And you know, a lot of Swami devil or Guru devil, there's a lot of followers, right? And he comes to you and he says to you, listen, if you want to be a servant of God, you have to do this and this and this, and look at yourself, you don't do it. You're the lowest, you're the creepiest. And it's beautiful, he talks about God. I mean, don't tell me I, brother devil, don't believe in God, right? I mean, I talk to you only about God. But it's still brother devil talking to you. You know what God himself is telling you? Do you know that I'm there? Do you know that I'm there? Is it clear to you? And if it's clear to you, so what else do you need? You see, closeness to God is the greatest joy in the world. And we are the closest in the world. Because the moment you're close to God, in His presence, there is no sadness. Amen. Peace.
Shlomo really answered something that I've been searching for, and that I think I'll try to tie together and summarize now this morning's session. The question was, in a sense, the whole discussion we're talking about is refuah shlema, which we've defined before as refuah is healing.
Peace. say something, I don't know what came to my head. I don't know if some of you know, it's just very, very important to know, that today is the day, for all those who are into learning, it's one of the greatest days. For the 8th time, we are finishing the Talmud. I don't know if some of you know that, I'm not sure it was 1925 or 1923, it was a convention of all the great rabbis in Europe, and at that time a very young man, he didn't live to, sadly enough he didn't see, I guess whatever it is, Israel didn't live to see this young man getting very old. He passed away very young. At that time he was the rabbi of Pietrków, a city in Poland. Later on became the rabbi in Lublin. Then was Reb Meir Shapiro. And he came out with a gewalt idea. He says, why don't we, from next Rosh Hashanah on, let's initiate that all the Jews in the world should learn one page, wherever they are. From Alaska down to India, to Australia, from Bombay to China. And those who are into learning know it's the greatest thing in the world. From time to time I always also try to keep up with it. Then I fall down and try again. But anyway, it's for the 8th time. It takes exactly 7 years. 7 years. And you know what it means? That I can take a plane and go from New York to Paris and meet a Jew. And he and I have been learning last night the same page. And I don't know if you know that last week Sunday was a big gathering in Madison Square Garden. Thousands of Jews. Unheard of. If someone would have said 50 years ago in America, there'll be thousands of Jews who are learning the same page every day, it'll laugh in your face. It's who has time, who's interested. Thousands, it was unbelievable. Young people, old people, everybody with the Gemara under their arms. And today is mamish the beginning of the whole Talmud again, 63 volumes. And maybe tonight, after we finish learning, would be a good thing to start in Sefta Bochus. It would be very special. And if you cannot learn it in Hebrew, it's available in English. There's absolutely no problem. I want to tell you the most mind-blowing thing. They initiate, you can dial a page. Unbelievable. Yeah, you hook in, you can call them up. It's unbelievable. You can call up. You know how beautiful this is? Whenever you have 10 minutes time, you call up and someone is reading that page for you in English. So you're with it. The knowledge you can accumulate within days. Unbelievable. Do you know what it means for a Jew to know the whole Talmud? The Talmud is absolutely a living book. It talks. There is no part of life which is not touched. There is no part of life which isn't touched. From birth to death, before and after, and in the middle, everything there is. Besides all this talking about the holy stories are there and all those holy words. So anyway, I just want to share this with you. This Reb Meir Shapiro, his dream was to build a yeshiva. Because he says we are losing all our greatest geniuses, because most of them, especially in Poland, coming from such poor parents, they don't even have money to give them any education. So he mamish collected 400 mind-blowing geniuses. And he went to America to get some money to build his yeshiva, because also he says it's crazy. All the universities are beautiful, and the yeshivas are in broken houses, and kids have nothing to eat. He built an absolutely beautiful building in Lublin, had 400 students, and the only thing is he took a loan from the bank for $500,000, which people promised him in America they'll cover. And also someone had bought him a life insurance of $500,000. Okay, listen to this, sweetest friends. 2 weeks before, the bank told him, if you're not paying, we're confiscating the yeshiva. Because we're not a charity organization. It's a big bank in America. Anyway, 2 weeks I was calling up every person he knew, every rich person, please do something. A week before that, he said jokingly, I guess the only way for me to pay off the bank is my life insurance. Exactly 1 week. Friday morning he woke up and he was dying. Simple as that. And something happened to him, I don't know what sickness it was, that he couldn't speak anymore. They called him Dax, was too late. And you know, there are 400 students learning in yeshiva, and it was like their father, more than that. It was 4 in the morning, and his holy wife went to yeshiva, says, my husband is dying. And he wrote down on a piece of paper, please carry me into the yeshiva, because he lived in the same building. They carried him into the yeshiva, and everybody was praying and crying. He wrote down on a piece of paper, and he says, my whole life, I'm working to be filled with joy every second. Don't spoil my last few minutes. So they asked him, what should we do? He said, what a question. I want you to dance around me. Can you imagine? 400 young people. Was Mamish in the middle of the yeshiva, they danced around him for hours. And he, Mamish, was shining and he was glowing. Then after 2-3 hours, someone said, let's ask him how he's feeling. And they realized he was long gone. And I know people who were at the funeral, he was absolutely glowing. He didn't look like he was dead. Mashiach's coming, he just still glowing, right? The saddest thing in the world is that from this whole yeshiva, only 7 survived. But anyway, so the crazy thing is, last week was his yahrzeit, and today is mamash for the 8th time at the beginning. Unbelievable. I want to bless you and please bless me. I need it badly. Maybe some of you need it badly too. So holy, because you know what it means to hold on to one page? And thousands of people over the world are learning the same page. And again, it is available in English. You can walk in to any bookstore and say, give me tractate Brochus, and there's no problem. Even if you don't understand every word, who cares, right? Just read it, and then slowly, knowledge will follow. He was mamish glowing all the time. Glowing. And I want you to know something. Is there anything more charismatic than joy? Have you ever been drawn to a sad person? Have you ever been drawn to a person standing in a corner, krächzing, crying? Okay, you feel compelled to go and help them, but, right? Drains your energy, right? Okay, now people who are filled with joy are gas tanks of life. You just go up there and hook up to them, and you're filled with life. You know what people are looking for today? They say we have problems, this and this. What they really mean to say, I'm short on life. I can move, I can function, but I'm dead. What people need most is life. The truth is, if you're absolutely alive, you put it together. Now, listen to me. In Chassidus, it's very, very clear. If you want to see how much you're alive, because everybody says, I'm alive, look at me. Just had my permanent last week. It better be permanent, so I'm alive, right? How do you know you're alive? Very simple. The things you're doing, how long does it take you to do them? How long does it take you? People are alive, do things fast without time. Now listen, I want you to open your heart. The truth is, we human beings are created in God's image. What does it mean? It means we're beyond time and space. Animals are within time and space. Anybody who's divine, God's image, is beyond time and space. If I do things slowly, that means I'm within time and space, right? Nature is time and space. It's summer, winter, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. From here to there it takes me 10 minutes. For me to warm up, I met this girl until I married her, got to know each other 2 years, and then we slept for 2 years, then we argued 2 years, then until we decide on the wedding day is another 2 years. So it takes approximately 10, 15 years to get married. I think it's a beautiful time, right? It's within time and space, which is most people. A real human being is someone who's beyond time and space. You know what means space? Space means I love you when I see you. You are 2 inches away, trouble remembering you. Space, right? Time and space tear things apart, right? If you're beyond time and space, how come that we Jews went back to Israel 2,000 years later? Because we're beyond time and space, right? On the time and space level, you live in America and Israel is 5,000 miles away. You're crazy. Why should you go there? You have enough money for orange juice and coffee, so why should you go there? What does Israel have which I don't have? Yeah, that's a good time and space question. Beyond time and beyond time and space, I want you to know something unbelievable. This Shabbos we read that our father Jacob met his soulmate Rachel, and her father, the biggest thief and fake in the world, says, I want you to work for my daughter for 7 years because I'm selling her to you. Swami Laban, right? Laban, whatever his name was. He called himself man of God. You know, he always wore white. I'm so clean, I'm so holy, right? Look at my face. You know? I'm meditating. Anyway, Laban, right? Selling his daughter. And then he wants to put in a little bonus, his oldest daughter also, you know. Anyway. And it says, Vayihi be'enav k'yomim achodim. And to Jacob it looked like just a few days because he loved her so much. Now open your hearts, friends. When I love somebody very much, not only 7 years or 7 years, 7 years, 1,000 years. I miss her so much, I want her so much, I can't stand it, right? But have you ever heard anything saying the other way around? 7 years look to me like a short time because I love her so much. Now listen to this. You know what the Torah says? If I have to work for a girl for 7 years, after 7 years I'm cooled off of the whole thing, right? Who needs it? 7 years? Crazy? What I need it for? To get another girl for cheaper, right? So, you know what it says by Yaakov? It was like one day, same day. By Jacob, the day he met Rachel and the day he married her, 7 years later, was still one day. Because he really loved her. He really